Okay, so you're wanting to upgrade the RAM in your computer, but you have no idea exactly what you need to purchase. Absolutely not a problem. I'll show you exactly how to take care of that. First thing you want to do is open up your web browser, and you're going to want to go to either Google or Yahoo search. Either way, as you can see, mine's default set to go to Google. You can go up here to the address bar if yours is set to go to a different website, and just type in www.google.com. Once Google comes up, you can put in right here in the text input bar below the word Google, CPU space Z. And the first thing that it's going to bring up is going to be CPU-Z-CPU ID. This is exactly what you're looking for. This is going to tell you what RAM is in your system. Once you click on it and bring up the site, you'll see this page, and over here you'll see download the latest release. You do not need to worry about what operating system, because as long as it's Windows, you're good to go, because it automatically includes the 32-bit and 64-bit binaries for install. So all you have to do is click on the top one for your language, which for the most part will be English. And then it'll bring to this, and then all you have to do is click download now. Okay, you see I already have it downloaded right there for grins. I'll go ahead and delete it real quick, and now we can download it. Yes, it'll automatically come up on any browser, any of your web browsers, be it Windows or Internet Explorer, or here's Google Chrome, Firefox, does not matter. Most of your browsers are going to be default to where as soon as the download's done, it's still going to leave it somewhere where you can run the program directly from there. If by chance you happen to set it up to where it does not leave that pop-up, then all you have to do is go to Windows Explorer. You can either click down here in Windows 7 or in any other version of Windows, click Start, go to All Programs, Accessories, and you'll find Windows Explorer. Once you bring it up, all you have to do is browse to your downloads directory, and you can find the file, which, as you can see right here, the file is going to be named CPU-Z-1.63-setup-en.exe. But let's get this running. It's going to pop up asking you for a security warning. Do you want to run this? Yes, or run. Now you have user account control, which is a security mechanism built into Windows Vista 7 and 8, and it tries to ensure that nothing gets executed without you actually knowing about it being ran. When this pops up, just click yes. All you have to do then is click next. I accept the agreement and next. Leave it on the default install path and click next. Now, if you're anything like me, you absolutely hate how most of everything wants to install toolbars or other programs. It's really hard to get away from that. So just deselect those two items and click next. Here's another one wanting to install another program. Just deselect it and hit next. Next. Leave create desktop icon selected, so that way you'll have an icon on your desktop when this is done. Click next and click install. Now you want to deselect after the install is complete. View the CPU readme. You really don't need to look at that. You can if you want to, but it's not necessary. And then just click finish. Leave your web browser open because you are going to need it again. Once you shrink it down, right here on your desktop is a new icon that has CPU-Z on it, and then you'll see the CPU ID CPU-Z. And of course it has the shield. That shield means it's going to run in administrator mode, so that way it actually has privileges to be able to read your hardware information. Okay, now you're going to need to start CPU ID CPU-Z. Just double click the icon and you'll see the user account control box pop up. Again, just click yes. And you'll see the CPU information comes up first. That's really not important for what we're trying to do here, but if you'd like to look through these, feel free to do so. Right now we're going to concentrate on the SPD tab. because the SPD tab is going to tell us what RAM we have and what speed it is. So as you see here, my system is running DDR3 PC3 8500 at 533 megahertz, and the part number right here is going to give you more information about what you need. The part number says 1333EL series. That means this is DDR3 1333 RAM, and it's PC3 8500. So now that we know this, we can shrink this down so that way we still have the information, and it's time to go find the RAM. Now in order to go find your RAM, the first thing that you want to do is bring up your web browser. If you left it open, that's great. All you have to do is bring the web browser back up, and you want to browse to www.newegg.com. On this page, you'll see the tab that says computer hardware, and as soon as you move the mouse over it, it'll expand over. You want to look for memory. Click that. Now from here, if you're upgrading the RAM in your laptop, you'll want to click laptop memory. If you're upgrading the RAM in your desktop, you want to click desktop memory. I will show you both momentarily. For now, we're going to start out with desktop. Okay, now you're looking at the desktop RAM, and it's going to show you all kinds of different options. That's fine. Just scroll down until you see speed right here. And you can see that it's only showing DDR and DDR2, no DDR3. That's alright. All you have to do is click on more. And there's our DDR3 1333. Any motherboard that'll run DDR3 1333 will run all different types of 1333 RAM. For this particular video, we're going to go ahead and select the 1333 1066, which is a good general all-around RAM for most motherboards. Now you can see here the different RAM that is DDR3 1333, and a large portion of them are going to be dual channel kits. Most motherboards support dual channel. If your computer only has 2 gig and you're wanting to upgrade to 8 gig, you can scroll up here to capacity, and you can see right here you have 4 gig. There's 8. Those are single sticks. One stick is 4 gig of RAM. Or you have 4 gig 2x2. Those are dual channel kits, and it gives you 2 gig memory chips. In most cases, you're going to run dual memory chips, so the 4 gig 2x2 is probably what you want to select. Here's the general price range and the different types of RAM. Every one of these will run just fine in your system. Some brands are better than others, and my personal preference is either G-Skill or Patriot. Both manufacturers, the RAM runs real well, and in general really doesn't have a whole lot of problems. Others tend to have a few issues, like you're seeing PNY right here. For me, ordering PNY RAM has been 50-50. Some of them work really good, some of them don't even work at all, and I end up having to send it back to get a new memory chip. If you really don't want to mess with that, you'll definitely want to stick with the better brands. And Mushkin's okay. The ADATA is okay. Corsair is alright. But like I said, just general preference, I prefer G-Skill or Patriot. I'm not seeing any Patriot here, but they do have a lot of G-Skill RAM. G-Skill RAM runs really well. Many gamers will run G-Skill or Patriot just because it tends to be a higher quality, higher speed RAM. And of course you can see over here the price range, and every one of these right next to it say free shipping. That is one of the greatest things about this site with ordering RAM. You just pay for the RAM, it's on its way. Okay, let's say that instead of 4 gig, you're wanting to upgrade to 8. You see how it shows only the 8 gig option right here? Just like it shows only the 4 gig. Those are single 8 gig memory chips. As I stated before, in general you're going to want the dual channel memory kit, which is going to come with 2 chips. So all you have to do is select more, and here's your different options all the way up to 64 gig. Most motherboards today are going to support anywhere from about 4 to 8 gig, unless you have one that specifically supports higher. So for this, you're going to want the 2x4, which is a dual channel memory kit. It'll give you 8 gig of RAM using 2 memory chips. The dual channel kits are a specific technology designed for most motherboards that support having dual memory chips of the exact same type, to where it can read and write to the 2 memory chips at a very high speed at exactly the same time. And as you can see, here's the general price range and the different types. Here's another brand you didn't see earlier. There's Gill. I've had a lot of bad luck with Gill RAM. I really don't recommend them. There's some people swear by Gill. And again, the option's entirely yours. But all you have to do is hit add to cart. So we'll find G-Skill here. Add to cart. And again, you notice it all says free shipping. Oops, I accidentally left an item in there from earlier. That's fine. If you accidentally get doubles, all you have to do is select the one that you want to remove and hit remove selected, and it'll update the cart with the price for what you have in there. Again, you see right here it says Super Egg Saver 4 to 7 business days, and it's free. Let's say I want it in 2 business days. All you have to do now after that is put in your zip code. Now it'll give you the price for what it's going to take to ship it for the different deals. So for 2-day, it's going to be $14.25, $5.99 for 3-day, or $20.33 for next business day. However, it still gives you the option free for the Super Egg Saver 4 to 7 business days. From here, all you have to do is click Secure Checkout and use your credit or debit card, and your RAM will be on its way. The next step from there is, once you receive it, to install it into the system. And I will show you exactly how to do that. Okay, various computers, the RAM might be in different locations, like it might be up here above the processor, down here below the processor. That big tower right there is the processor. In this case, it's right here next to the right hand side of the processor, which is where most of them will be. You see those 2 sticks sticking up? Those are the memory chips. I'm going to pop those out real quick. That's what the memory chips actually look like, and both of those are Patriot chips. Those are both PC 8500, PC3 8500, and those are DDR3 1333 memory chips. Both of them are 4 gig. And you see the little gold pins on the edge? You want to make very, very, very sure that you do not touch those as much as possible, because static electricity can ruin the chips. It is absolute best practice whenever you're working on the memory chips to put the system in to ground yourself, and the best way to do that would be to rest your arm against the case, so that way your arm is grounded to the case, and when you're holding onto the chip it'll be grounded as well. If you look very closely, you'll see these little plastic tabs, and in the center you'll see a plastic peg that sticks up. That plastic peg matches that groove on those memory chips. That exists entirely as a fail-safe to where the memory chips can only go in one way, so there's no real serious way to mess up the installation. Those plastic tabs on the sides and you see all of them are rocked back right now, are actually lock tabs to lock the memory chip in place. And in most cases it does take a little bit of force to lock the memory chip in. I'm going to install these memory chips real quick to show you. You'll see that memory chip, there are little slots in the plastic. Those are alignment grooves. As you push down on the chip, it'll lift those two tabs up automatically, and when it's secured in position, they'll actually lock onto the sides of the chip. And you can actually hear it lock. Once that's done, the memory chips are installed and ready to go. This is for the desktop system only. Next up will be installing RAM in a laptop. Laptops are generally a little more simple than a desktop to change the RAM out on. This is a Toshiba. All you have to do is flip it over, and on the bottom you'll see several different ports. On the back, this is normally the battery. You'll see one port that is for the hard drive and one port that's for the RAM. Now some of them, the ports will actually be labeled, and on others they're not. This particular one, the ports are not labeled, but I know for a fact that the memory chips are underneath this. So you'll need a small Phillips head screwdriver, and the number of screws will vary, the pattern will vary, but it's all still the same. All you have to do is pull that panel, and then you'll have access to the memory chips. And you'll see in just a moment what I mean by how simple the memory chips are to actually change. Okay, right there's the memory chip bays. And right there are our two memory chips. You want to grab the memory chips from the sides, and again you'll notice, see the little plastic pins? Those plastic pins match the groove on that chip. All you have to do is put the chip in like so, push down, and it'll lock into place just like on the desktop. You have two little grabbers on the side that lock into grooves on the edges of the chip. So you push it in all the way into the socket. It'll set up at an angle just like that. Then you just rock it down, snap it, locks into place. This little doodad right here, ignore it. That is actually a PCI Express socket, and that is a wireless network card. To get those chips out, all you have to do is pull those two little metal tabs over to the side, and the chip will pop right up for you, and you can pull it right out. That's it for changing the laptop memory sticks. Of course, once you get the memory sticks put in place, you'll want to put the cover back on. Some of them have to snap into place. Some of them just set in and screw down. Tighten up the screws. And you are ready to turn that dude on and rock and roll. Okay, to ensure that you don't actually end up buying too much RAM, because it is possible to get too large of a memory stick that your system can't handle, There are a great many ways to go and check and verify the information for your particular motherboard or device. And the easiest way is to go to google.com and research your particular computer, motherboard, whatever it is, laptop. And let's say you have a Dell Dimension 3000. You can actually search for Dell Dimension 3000 specs or Dell Dimension 3000 RAM limit. And there'll be a lot of different ones that'll tell you. Here's one for eHow that'll tell you what the Dell Dimension is. Or you can even go straight to Dell.com and do the research there. Either way, you can look at the manual. If you go to Dell.com, it's best to go to the OEM's website, which is the actual manufacturer's website. And they can tell you the exact specs of the RAM that's in it, what type of RAM it supports, and what the maximum amount is that the system will support. It's easier to do it that way to ensure that you don't accidentally get an oversized stick. And you also have to remember with laptops that most laptops don't run dual channel. So a lot of times with the laptop, you're probably only going to order a single stick. Bring up Newegg real quick and show you. Okay, laptop memory. See, here's the different laptop memory, and there are some cases where there'll be two sticks in there, but you notice that it does not say dual channel. This is due to the fact that most laptops don't run dual channel, they just run each memory chip individual. And again, if you go research the manufacturer's documentation or the manual on the laptop itself, it'll tell you exactly what RAM it supports and how much. So when in doubt, Google it, you'll be good to go. I would like to thank you all for watching this, and again, if you like my videos, there'll be more to come. Watch, like, and share.